Hey everyone, my name's Ray. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about this 1980s Troy-Bilt horse tiller, and specifically my method that I use to get the wheels off. There's a lot of information online on YouTube about guys dealing with these wheels. When they find they need to come off, they are seized onto the axle. And there's a couple different methods that I've seen. I just want to share with you what my method was. So, like I said, 1980s Troy-Bilt horse tiller. These things are beasts. They kind of just keep going. This one has a aftermarket motor on it, cheap motor, but the thing runs really well, and it definitely does the job. But these tires are dry cracked like crazy and leak all the time, and these are tubeless, so I just want to go ahead and change the tires out on these. So it'll make it a lot easier if I can get the tires off. So some of the methods that I saw online, some guys would heat it up and try to pound it. They would try to spread the wheels and keep pressure on it as they're using hammer drills on the axle and trying to use the vibration to just get it apart. Another actually good method that I saw that is up for you to decide is some guys will weld a big maybe a 7/8 nut on there or something, and they'd weld it right to the rim. Then they'd get a bolt and thread that into the nut, and as you're tightening that bolt, it would separate the wheel from the axle. So that was the method I was actually going to go down until I gave it a night where I couldn't get these wheels off one day, and I kind of slept on it a little bit and came up with a simpler approach that I was skeptical that it was going to work, but it ended up working great. So just want to pass it along. So the first thing on these is these have a roll pin. Obviously these would line up when it's fully on there. So this is a 5/16 inch roll pin. I don't know, maybe an inch and a half long here. And I would highly suggest purchasing a roll pin punch if you don't have it. The unique thing about these is it has a sort of a protruding end on it, so that when you're tapping out the roll pin, it doesn't peel on you and sort of collapse the roll pin, and then you're left with some fun to try to get that out. So I mean, this is the best tool in my mind. You can definitely just use a straight punch. It's not a big deal, but these are $4 or $5. So it's a 5/16 inch roll pin punch. So once I got those out, I tapped that out. I put some WD-40 in there. You can use other penetrating oil, just something to try to loosen it up. Once I got that taken care of, my thought was to use a pipe wrench, pretty sizable pipe wrench, to get in here. And obviously when this is kind of over here, you would just get it on there, try to crack it off of that seized up rust and grime that's in there. And I'm not going to say it's easy to do that, but with the tiller in forward or reverse gear, so the axle doesn't spin on you, I was able to turn it, and I kind of just kept turning it around and around until it kind of felt relatively free. It wasn't taking that much pressure to get it off, or to spin it, I should say. So then I set the pipe wrench down and kind of grabbed onto the wheel and sort of just worked it off. So yeah, that is my method. I like that method. I mean, I'm glad it worked, just because then I'm not boogering up the rim, welding a nut on there. I know, that, like I said, that was the method I was going to use, but I'm glad this method worked out. I know some other guys also, another method was to drill holes in the rim and then put a puller, like a 3 or 4 draw puller on there, and put the point in at the axle and pull it off that way. I think that's a good method too, except that again, you have to modify the rim. So this way, I'm happy it worked, and I hope if anyone else watches this video, it maybe gives you an idea, and maybe it works for you too. So thanks a lot, everyone. Appreciate it.